if you guys have seen my D over F sharp, the two types video, basically two types of approach, I want you to now take this video as maybe video number 2. It's kind of stating the case for when and where to use this chord. Now you might have seen it already popping up, and it's one of those chords that you're like, wait, okay, hold on, there's a slash there, what the heck does that mean? Well, just as a recap, whenever you see that chord, the first one, that's the basic chord, so D, and then the next one, that slash, whatever that is, in this case F sharp, that implies the bass note, okay? Think of it as like 1/2, right? 1/2, you can rearrange that as 1 over 2, 2 being the bass, right? In this case, the bass note. So we're playing a D major chord, but we have an F sharp in the bass, which you can use with your thumb. Or, if your hands aren't quite comfortable with that, like mine, I kind of just do this little clever trick where I basically keep my 3rd finger on the B string 3rd fret. My 2nd finger plays the G string 2nd fret. And then my first finger comes across to play that low F sharp, that 2nd fret. That's the bass note. That's the one. And then it subtly, very cleverly mutes that high E string. And that's the way I play D over F sharp. So if you see that, it's weird, I know, but it's my favorite way. And it works. So why I might use it is in 2 different scenarios. Let me go through scenario number 1, really common one. Let's say we're playing a G major to an E minor. Well, I know that in that particular progression, that will sound really cool by itself. But that definitely is a song, and a bunch of songs for that matter. G, D over F sharp, and E minor will always sound really great because of that walking bass line. And the reverse is true. Probably heard that song, right? Okay. That walk up is really great, and it's very distinct in the key of G major. It's a G, F sharp, E, which is the 1, 7 to the 6, or 6 to the 7 to the 1. If that was confusing to you, I definitely recommend checking out. I have a whole module for that in the description below that will teach you all that nerdy theory stuff. No pressure either way, but it is the secret to freedom. Shameless plug. Moving on, the next way in which you should be using this D over F sharp is just by, I would say, experiment with it. Anytime you see a D major chord in a progression, forget key signature, although the songs in the key of G will usually sound pretty darn sweet. But let's just take an example from the Tom Petty classic, little Last Dance with Mary Jane's Last Dance, whatever the title is. It's one of those weird mix-ups of how he actually sings it. It goes like this. It's normally A minor to G major to D major and back to A minor. I'm gonna go ahead and play it for you. Sounds great as it is. Now, I'm not saying he's doing this in the track. I'm just using this as a fun example as to what it might sound like if you do. Instead of that D major, I'm going to play a D over F sharp. Let's just hear what it sounds like. It's not what he's doing, I admit, but it sounds kind of cool. It gives it a little bit of this edge, this depth. And that's something I want you to play with. A really great band is Pink Floyd, obviously, and they do this a ton. I mean, it's just one of those things where they almost always play a C over G whenever they're playing a C major, and oftentimes they'll play a D over F sharp, just as a way to kind of create a little bit of texture. Try Wish You Were Here. Listen to those chords really deeply and tell me what you're hearing. Are they playing a D over F sharp in that song, or is it a D major? I'm not going to demonstrate now on this. This video's already ran very long. So that right there is D over F sharp. A couple of ideas of how to use it, basically as a connector with using that walking bass, or just as some way to kind of make something sound a little bit more interesting or complex. If it's a regular D major, try D over F sharp. It's a regular C major, try a C over G. These are called inversions, and they can really create a lot of color and interesting sounds in your playing. Enjoy, you guys. If that was completely confusing, what the heck is an inversion altogether? If you're totally lost, I actually also have a lot of material on that. I have Total Guitar Mastery, which is all of everything I've ever taught in one shot. It's like 200 videos. And then I've got little segments where you can break down and just get little sections from theory to, in this case, I recommend chords. Get the chords module, master that, understand what inversions are, but not before getting really comfortable with the major chords first. I digress. Thank you guys. Please subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.